this is a really intense hayride. What was the idea behind the hayride, and how did it evolve from the beginning days back in 1993?
Yeah, I love that question. I mean, to me, the Haunted Hayride is the heart of Field of Screams. It's what started Field of Screams. It's how the name Field of Screams really came about. It was a field of screams. You know, we didn't have the barns back in the beginning. It was just a modest, a lot of fond memories going back to the hayride. I was in college. I think I was a sophomore at Millersville University when we started the hayride, and those first couple years, it was just, I mean, it was so simple, but it was effective. And, you know, so some other advice to new haunters out there would be, you know, for us, our beginnings were humble, but what we did right from the start, I feel, was that we scared people. You know, our focus was on giving the people a good time, giving them good value for the money, and giving them a good scare, because they're coming to your haunt to get scared. They want to get scared. So our initial hayride was scary. I mean, it was a lot of, I was on the wrestling team at Millersville, and you know, I would round up my buddies, and we would come up. That's what we would do on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. We would just scare the crap out of people in the fall, and they loved it. We loved it. We had a lot of friends and family helping us out, helping us get started, and you know, without all that, it wouldn't be possible. So, you know, the hayride started out. It was, you know, like I said, it was on a shoestring budget, you know, to say the least. I mean, we had my chainsaw skit the first year was my sister-in-law. She would lay on a cardboard table with a fake, like, you know, flannel, stuffed straw flannel arm with a stick in it that I'd shove under her, like, shoulder. I would come out, I would chop it off, it would fall on the ground, I would attack the wagon. You know, we took some plywood and 2x4s and made a clown jack-in-the-box that was it. It was one clown jack-in-the-box in the middle of the field, and a guy would jump out of it as a clown. We would run 12-2 in spools. We would drag it across the cornfield to each skit to get power to it. You know, it's hard to even think back and remember all those initial scenes. But like I said, you know, when you're starting out, do it right, scare people. Now the hayride today, I mean, it is just crazy how it's evolved. I mean, it has really taken on a whole different face. I mean, our skits are just so elaborate and so intense and so detailed. I mean, we sink tens of thousands of dollars into each skit out there in the hayride. So our philosophy, once again, is we're not going through the hayride, and it's not 100% different every year. Each scene is so intense that it deserves to be in the rotation for a number of years. You know, like our first scene is the pig scene, the slaughterhouse. You know, I won't reveal too many secrets, but it has a lot of the ghost ride props. You know, one of the great vendors in the industry for us, and you know, a lot of his props fit in real great with the slaughterhouse scene at the pig skit. So we have about 10 different scenes throughout the hayride. Each one is just you know, real elaborate, real intense. Tons of show controllers, tons of pneumatics. You know, we had such a demand for electric and air that about 8 years ago, I'd say, we brought in a whole new electrical service to the middle of the hayride. We dug a well, we put 1,000 gallons of propane there, and from that central location, what we did was we like wagon wheeled from that center out to each skit and ran 100 amps of electricity. We ran our propane lines out there, we ran our water lines from the well, and we ran an empty conduit line for future expansion. So now in every scene has its own full cycle air compressor. So we, you know, continuous duty air compressor in each scene. So we can do whatever we want. We have the power, we have the air, we have the water, and we have the propane to do fire effects at every location on the hayride.
So you learned from the blown transformer?
Yeah. Right, you remember that? Yeah, that is a good story. Yeah, one night, yeah, huge explosion out by the road. Transformer caught on fire. All the emergency lights went on in the den. It was luckily it was a Sunday night. It was the last group that was going through. They went through with the emergency lights on, but yeah, we lived and learned from that. Yeah, we actually have our old breaker panel. We call it the distribution center out in the Hayride, and we actually have our old original breaker panel just up there as kind of like a museum artifact. And to look at that thing, how it powered the whole Hayride was just, it's interesting.
That's awesome.